Javon, the creative, ethical bad boy. Javon, the creative, bad boy with a syllabus, teaches truth with the camera, not clouded gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like, let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine. Cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon, the creative, ethical bad boy.
Alrighty. Well, everybody, welcome to Content and Strategy Planning Part 2. I'm your teacher, Javon Manning. The digital bad boy is what Drew calls me. Yeah, so to get right into it, welcome to the next phase of mastering content creation. In Part 1, we talked about the fundamentals, storyboarding, project management, distribution. Now we're going to take it a little bit further. We're going to dive into the strategic part of those different aspects. So the strategic elements that separate consistent creators from those who struggle to maintain momentum. So in this session, we're going to focus on the systems, data insights, audience strategies that transform content creation from a sporadic activity into a sustainable, growth-oriented practice. So yeah, welcome back. We just recapped Part 1. We talked about everything. Part 2, we're deep diving. So yeah. So today, by the end of the session, you're going to have the frameworks to build a sustainable, data-driven content system that keeps you consistent. It's going to grow your audience and create pathways to make you some money. We all love making money. I can't guarantee you're going to make money, but these are the pathways to help you get to making that money. So don't be mad at me if you don't make any money, but yeah. So yeah. First things first, this is actually one of the most important things for really any kind of system that you're building, and it's the content calendar and the workflow that goes along with it. So the difference between creators who thrive and those who burn out often comes down to one thing, and that is planning, and planning systematically. So content calendars aren't just organizational tools. They're really the infrastructure that supports the creative consistency. And without infrastructure in your content, you're just going to be making whatever, and you're just going to be doing whatever. So you want to start building that system and build it as early as possible. So in this module, I'm going to explain how to do that. So why do they matter? Content calendars transform chaos into clarity. So when you plan ahead, you eliminate the daily panic of what should I post? How should I post it? Are people going to like it? So on and so forth. And you replace that with purposeful execution. Now you're not just making content just to make content. You're not making content hoping it's going to work. You have a strategic plan on how it's going to work. And then you can use data to drive those decisions even further. So it's not about being rigid. It's not about, I need to have everything on a schedule and plan. It's really about creating the freedom. It's about creating your freedom through your structure, because when you have a structure and you put yourself within those bars, your creativity has room to shine, because now you're not worried about so much of the how, you're worried about what it is you're creating. Number 2 is consistency builds audience. So viewers return when they know what to expect and when to expect it. So if you're posting once every 3 months, well, I'm more than likely not going to come back to your content, because there's someone that's making the same content as you that is posting every week or every 2 weeks or every 3 to 5 days. It just depends on what platform I'm on and where I'm watching them. But the more consistent, the more people are going to want to follow, because they know they can rely on you to give them value in your information. And with calendars, you reduce that decision fatigue. So it makes it easier to show up even on the days that you aren't motivated, because as content creators, we don't follow motivation because it's a spark, not a fire. And on those low motivation days, if you have a calendar, you still know what you're doing. You're still able to bring energy to what it is you're doing. And having a calendar is going to make it easier to show up, because you're not adding extra steps onto what it is you're already trying to do. You're just focusing on the creating of the product. So they also enable batch production, and we'll dive in a little bit into batch production. But it enables you to film multiple pieces of content in one session rather than across multiple sessions. And this prevents the burnout, and it maintains the quality, because it's easier to focus on something for one day and do 4 things in one day than it is to do 4 things a week, every single week, every single month, because eventually you're going to get tired of it. But you can commit to one day of doing things and then end up with a lot more content. And then if you do 2 days, even better, you end up with way more. But you also keep the consistency with the quality. So, and a good example that I have is, like, consider how Kuvo, one of the companies that I work for, is like they do promotional content, and it benefits from our monthly planning and just setting things up rather than scrambling every day. So Kuvo schedules a performance once a month, but that performance is scheduled a month in advance. So it's nice to know that, hey, we're going to film this a month in advance, and then we have everything prepared, everything set up, and so on and so forth. So how you build your calendar? There's about 4 different platforms, and of course they change. So study them, look at the algorithm, look at how it works. But these are the basics. So YouTube, 1 to 2 videos per week. It allows quality production and deeper storytelling. Focus on evergreen content that continues driving value over time. So when you hear evergreen content, evergreen trees, they don't ever die. They just stay green forever until they do die. But think about content that you can talk about for a long period of time, for over a long period of time, that even in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, people can still find value in, even if it's not specifically, 2025. You can still use that content in the future. So 1 to 2 videos per week. I would say just commit to 1. If you can do 1 a week, you can always move up to 2, but start with 1. And then there's Instagram. So 3 to 5 posts a week keeps you visible without overwhelming your followers. Doing a mixture of posts, reels, and stories for varied engagement, that is going to help you as well. So think about doing posts on your story, think about doing posts on your feed, and think about just doing different types of engagement things on Instagram 3 to 5 times a week. I try to do 3 because if I can do it 3 times a week, I can do it 5 times a week. But I look at my Instagram grid on my page and there's only 3 slots. So I'm like, well, let's start with 3 because it's easier to kind of manage that and you can really curate what your page is going to look like when people go to it. So that's a good touch point if you guys wanted to think about it that way. Now, TikTok, I personally do not use TikTok because I don't want to post every single day and I don't want to do short-term content. And TikTok usually favors those who follow trends, and I don't really want to follow trends. It's not really what works for me. But for those of you who do want to post on TikTok, daily posting maximizes your algorithmic favor. Also, following trends does the same thing. So short form content requires less production time, making high frequency sustainable with proper batching. So yes, you will have to post every single day and follow those different trends, but because people don't necessarily need a lot of production value with that, you can make a lot on your phone. You can make a lot with the camera that's available to you, and you can record a lot at one time and just kind of post on a regular basis if you batch it properly. But yeah, it's a lot easier than it sounds. It just doesn't work for me. So if it works for you, there's the information for you. Lastly is podcasting. We all heard about podcasting, but weekly episodes build loyal listener habits, and consistency matters more than frequency. So choose a schedule that you can maintain over the long term. So podcasting and YouTube actually work hand in hand together. So if you can record 1 podcast a week, you can also post it on YouTube. You don't have to specifically do those together, but they actually work well together. So maybe pairing your YouTube schedule with your podcast schedule is going to help kind of keep the consistency between things. And a lot of the stuff that you record in your podcast, you can record on your YouTube. And when you're filming for your podcast, you can also film for YouTube. You can tie them together, whatever it is you want to do. But we talked about content pillars in our last class, but I'm bringing it up again because you want to choose 3 to 5 reoccurring themes for your audience on a regular basis. So these pillars are going to give structure to your calendar while allowing creative flexibility within those categories. So when I say like reoccurring themes, you want to, if you talk about finance and health and wellness and let's say like lifestyle, then you want to focus on those 3 different themes of the content that you're making for everything that you're doing. Because then your audience will learn to expect like, hey, this person talks about health and wellness, finance, and lifestyle. So yeah, keep it to those 3 to 5 things and then give yourself some structure so you can let your creative muscles flex how they need to flex. Now, batch production. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. The power of batching. Batching transforms your production efficiency by grouping similar tasks together. So instead of fragmenting your attention across multiple content types daily, you create focused sessions dedicated to one format. So a couple examples: film 4 videos in 1 day, 1 month of content; record 4 podcast episodes, 1 month of content covered; design 10 graphics, you have 2 weeks of posts. When you're batching your content, don't think about it like, hey, I need to just make 10 videos in 1 day. Think about what it is, your specific content strategy, like what specific content you want to make and how batching can help you make more of that on a regular basis so you're not fragmenting yourself across different things every single day. So for those who only post on Instagram, maybe it's taking 1 to 2 hours a day to record that week's worth of Instagram content or 2 weeks worth of Instagram content on whatever it is, the topics that you choose to work on. But for someone like TikTok, maybe doing the same thing is just taking time to research the trends that are coming out and then making content around those. And then also seeing how you can share those on your Instagram, on your YouTube shorts, on those different things to do those different types of content. Same with podcasting and YouTube. If you want to have months at a time, you can take 2 to 4 hours out of one day in the month and record multiple episodes and maybe bring a change of clothes because you don't want to just record the same episode in the same clothes. It can be looking crazy. It might be looking gross. So yeah, you can record multiple episodes in one session rather than doing so many. And then if you have guests, you can also time slot them out. So then you're staying on time with your guests, but you're also getting even more content done that you can share later. So then you're just editing rather than I need to film and edit and get this out. Now it's just like I'm filming, then I'm editing, so on and so forth. That's what really works for me is just I film, I want to focus on filming, and then I want to focus on editing, and then I want to focus on distribution because that is what helps me do the best work because now I can take 3 days to do 3 different tasks rather than do 1 day of multiple tasks trying to get so many things done at one time. But that brings me into the benefits of batch production. So when you batch, you eliminate that friction of repeated setup and teardown. Your lighting's already ready, your camera's already dialed in, and your creative momentum builds with each piece. Consistent quality emerges naturally when you're in flow state because a better use of setup time means less wasted effort, which means more energy, which means more mental clarity, which comes from knowing your content queue is full and freeing your focus to be solely on your strategy and engagement rather than the creation of the product. Because you set yourself up, you get to be fully creative, you get to be fully just in your flow, and you don't have to worry about so much of like, I need to make sure I'm staying on my schedule. I need to make sure I'm staying consistent. You get to keep your quality, you get to keep your consistency, and you get to keep your peace of mind, which is going to help you make the best content. Your peace of mind is going to help you make your best content no matter what. So a couple tools you can use to make a calendar. The right tool, it depends on your workflow, your preferences, your team size, all those different things, but choose what works for you. Whatever you're going to use on a consistent basis is what is going to help you the most, because I can show you 1,000 different tools, but if you don't use them, what's the point? So a couple tools that I've used before and I still use today are Google Sheets. This one's perfect for beginners or small teams, different things like that. It's free, it's collaborative, and infinitely customizable. So you can do all kinds of different things. If you can tie it with your calendar, there's so many different things you can tie Google Sheets with. And I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, have a Google account now. So it's really easy to set up too. But you can have simple color coding, makes content types immediately visible, and it's easy to share with collaborators or clients. Share a link, add them as a collaborator or whatever you need to do. Voila, it's ready to go. Now, Notion, this one was I'm not going to say it's newer, but it became newer to me, and I actually liked it more than Google Sheets. And this one is ideal for visual thinkers who want integrated workspace. So you can combine calendar views with task lists, content drafts, and resource libraries all in one place. It's database driven and flexibility grows with your needs. So for me, I like Notion more because actually there's like integrations and stuff that you can use with Google Calendar and different things like that. But I like to just see everything in one place. So I'm kind of like, I leaned more into Notion because Now I don't have to have Google Sheets open and then open Google Calendar. It's like I have one view of one thing and everything's kind of in there. And with AI coming out, Notion now has an AI thing that helps me edit things if I need to. So I prefer Notion better, but try it out, see what you think. Another one I used, and I used this before when I kind of first got into my business and creating content at the same time, but it's Trello. So this is card-based simplicity for those who prefer like the Kanban boards. And if you've never seen a Kanban board, it's just a style of board. It's just a style that works. But it's drag and drop interface. It makes rescheduling intuitive and it's great for teams who need clear visual status and indicators for each piece of content. So like Trello is what I use for my business side of things when other people are involved, because then I can send them to the site of like, hey, here's where everything is at. Like it'll be what's in the pipeline, what's coming down the pipeline, and then what's in production, what's in editing, and then what needs to be delivered at that point. And that just kind of depends on what it is that I'm doing. But Trello is also free too. So try it out and see if that works better for you. If you have a team, if you have other people that you work with, try that out and see what you think. And one that is really new to me that I just started kind of just seeing how it works, but it's more advanced, is Airtable. It's an advanced option for like power users managing complex multi-platform strategies. So pretty much this one's just like the complicated side of things. So if you have a larger team, if you have, you're a social media manager for someone else, Airtable may be better for you, but yeah, it combines its database functionality with calendar, gallery, and Kanban views. So it kind of has like Notion, Google Sheets, and Trello all in one, and has automation features. So for those who are bigger content creators or have a bigger team or just need more complex systems, this is usually better for that choice. It doesn't really work for me because I'm like 1 to 2 people. So I don't need a bunch of different things. It's more like, hey, we know where we're at. We know what we're doing. We'll go from there. But some of you might want to try it out. See what you think. Let me know how it is. Yeah. But a good pro tip, color code by content type. Tutorials could be blue. Behind the scenes, it could be green. Promotional could be orange. And educational could be purple. You don't got to go by my colors. These are just colors I use. Visual categorization makes patterns and gaps immediately obvious. So a good rule of strategy and planning is like you want to be able to open something up and see exactly where the gaps are, which is why color coding is very helpful, because you'll see where the gaps are. You'll see what you're not doing without even really having to read anything, look at anything. You just see the colors and like, yep, that's where I need to do more of. We need some more purple in there. We need some more orange in there. Or I'm not promoting enough, so we need some more orange in there. I'm not doing enough tutorials. We need some more blue in there. And I've done one behind the scenes thing. So maybe I need to incorporate that kind of stuff a little bit more. So yeah. But then you're not thinking too hard about it. You can open it up and it's right there. Now, the next thing is making sure that the content is working. And you can do that by looking at your analytics and your data. So data transforms your strategy from guesswork into a proper strategy. So while creativity drives the content creation, analytics reveal what actually is working for the people you're making the content for. It reveals what your audience actually wants and it's actually engaging with. So in this module, we're going to learn to read some signals and some different platforms that provide these signals and use them to refine what content you're making. So you're not just continuing to make content and you're married to ideas that aren't working. So yeah, we're going to look at the metrics and we're going to see how those different things work. Now, vanity metrics versus actually actionable metrics. So vanity metrics, we don't want to chase these, but we do want to know what they are. So Vanity metrics, they look impressive, but they don't actually tell you anything. It doesn't tell you anything about your engagement. It doesn't tell you about your business value. It doesn't tell you anything. It basically just strokes your ego. So they're very easy to manipulate through paid promotion, and they don't really correlate with sustainable growth anyways, because you can get 1,000 views on something and it's because someone paid to promote it or paid for ads. And it's like, of course you got 1,000 views or bot accounts, different things like that. So what we don't want to chase is total views, because it could be accidental clicks. It could be scrolls, it could be bots. We don't know. And then follower count. It includes inactive and bot accounts. So we don't really care about followers. We care about engagement. And then likes, passive engagement, minimal commitment. We've all scrolled on Instagram. We scrolled on YouTube. We scrolled on TikTok. We scrolled everywhere. It is so easy to like something. But when you leave comments, when you share, when you save, when you come back to those different things, when you go follow someone because that content that they're making, that's a little bit more. That means a little more than just, a like, because a like, takes less than a second to like somebody's like anything. And you can just like it because they're your friend. You don't even have to watch it. So minimal commitment. But yeah, actionable metrics though, this is where your focus wants to be. So actionable metrics, they reveal genuine interest and provide direction for improvement. So these numbers actually correlate with your algorithm favor and your audience loyalty, engagement, all those different parts of it. So watch time and average view duration. This is more on YouTube, but it can be on Instagram. It can be on TikTok and different things like that, because you can see, how long people are watching your reels, how long people are staying before they swipe to the next. But this is kind of like, it's really big on YouTube. So this is going to show your content quality. So how long are people watching the video? If you make a 10-minute video and people are only watching the first minute, maybe that video is not the highest quality. But if you make a 10-minute video and people watch 8 minutes of it, well, that's a pretty good video. And it shows that people actually want to watch it. It shows that people are paying attention to it. And it also shows you what you can improve, because if you see, hey, I got to 5 minutes and it dropped off, maybe I need to either change something at the 5-minute mark, or I can shorten my videos to be only 5 minutes. That's just an example, but that's usually how it can work. Then click-through rate, CTR. This measures the thumbnail and title effectiveness. So what that means is, when people see your thumbnail on YouTube, when people see your thumbnail on Instagram, or people see a certain different video that you just posted, they're going to see a thumbnail first. And does that thumbnail cause them to click on the video, to watch the video? That's what click-through rate is. So you want to have good thumbnails. Just don't overlook that. You don't want to just use the ones that they generate automatically. You want to have actually well put together thumbnails, well thought out thumbnails, because it's what's going to cause people to click on the video, especially on platforms like YouTube. Now, this one kind of works more for social medias like Instagram, TikTok, all those different ones. It saves and shares. This indicates high value content. This indicates like people want more of this in their algorithm, and specifically they want more of what you're making in their algorithm. So if people are saving your content, people are sharing your content, then that is going to show that your content means more to them than just a like. And completion rate. This reveals if viewers stay engaged. Are they watching everything all the way through? Are they watching your reels? Are they watching your videos? All those different things. Like, this is going to reveal if your viewers and your audience is actually engaged by the content that you're making. Now, platform-specific KPIs, key performance indicators. So each platform prioritizes different signals when they're deciding what content to amplify, and understanding this is going to help you optimize each video for that specific platform that you're posting on, which is why in part 1 we talked about pick your platforms, because you need to know what works best for those platforms. Now, mine are YouTube and Instagram. TikTok, not so much, but I included it because it's a really big content platform that a lot of people ask me about, so I included it. But YouTube, you want to look at your average view duration. This is king. So YouTube rewards videos that keep viewers on their platform longer. I mean, all platforms do the same thing. Like, they want you to stay on them forever. And the longer people stay, especially specifically on your video, the more that YouTube is going to push that video. So a 10-minute video with a 60% average view duration outperforms a 5-minute video with 80% average view duration because it keeps people on the platform longer. Like, I want someone to stay on my platform for 10 minutes rather than 5. But again, it kind of depends on what it is you're doing specifically, because you may have to make 5-minute videos because that's what works for you. And 80% average view duration is still going to be helpful for you because you have 15 of those. So that someone might subscribe to your page and watch 15 of your videos rather than, I'm not, how often is someone going to watch, a 10-minute video? So if you keep them on the platform longer, that's what's going to help them. So keep that in mind too. Another thing is click-through rate. We talked about this. This is on your thumbnails. It's going to determine whether your content gets initial visibility. So aim for 4 to 10%, depending on what content you make. That's kind of self-explanatory. So leave it there. And then traffic sources. These reveal how viewers discover you. So are you a suggested video? Did someone search externally for your video? Or did they browse in YouTube or in the platform for each to find your videos? So keep that in mind too. Is like, how are people finding you? Look at those things, because that is what is going to help you amplify that. Because if people are finding you more on Google, then maybe you need to figure out how to incorporate that into your promotion strategy. But if people are finding you on Instagram and then going to YouTube, so on and so forth, maybe you need to do more of that. Which brings us into Instagram. So Instagram saves and shares. These carry the most algorithmic weight for Instagram. You want people to be saving your content and sharing it. They don't have to like it so much, because you can also hide your like count now. So it's not so much important anymore. But Instagram interprets these as signals that the content is valuable enough to revisit or recommend to friends. Because when someone saves it, those people that follow them, Instagram is going to say, well, if so-and-so likes this content, maybe their friends will like it. So it'll pop up in their For You page too. And then that continues over time. And then your content ends up hitting millions of people, because all these different people have friends. And even if, that person may only have 1,000 followers, well, if there's 10 of them, that's 10,000 people that you just got into their algorithm. And then those 10,000 people amplify again, and that turns to 100,000, and so on and so forth. So don't sleep on that. Story completion rate. This indicates whether your stories hold attention across multiple frames. So low completion suggests that you need stronger hooks or shorter sequences. So are people watching your stories, and are they watching them all the way through? You want them to watch them all the way through, because the more they watch your story, the more they're likely to follow you. So, yeah. And then profile visits. This shows whether content compels viewers to learn more about you, a leading indicator of follower conversion. So are your videos causing people to go to your YouTube page, your Instagram page? And how long are they staying on your page? Are they going to watch more videos on you? Are they going to follow you? Are they going to do those different things? And where are those profile visits coming from? Are they coming from your stories? Are they coming from your posts? Are they coming from likes, shares, whatever it is? Yeah. And then TikTok. This is kind of the same thing, completion rate. So this dominates TikTok's algorithm, because you want people to watch your stuff all the way through, and you also want them to rewatch the stuff, which brings us down to the rewatch rate. Good Lord. Say that 3 times fast. But in your completion rate, videos watched to the end signal quality, and they get pushed to broader audience via the For You. And in the rewatch, it's even more powerful because it shows content is so compelling, it's so funny, it's so valuable to that viewer that they want to watch it again, and they want to see it again and over and over and over immediately, which is all. It also helps you. And then share rate. This extends reach exponentially because content that prompts sharing enters new networks and interest clusters. And there's a lot of people that use TikTok. So yeah, the more people share it, the more people are going to see it at a faster rate. And then if those people are rewatching it and completing it all the way through too, it's going to help a lot, which is why things blow up on TikTok so fast. Now, reading your analytics. So you want to approach analytics as detective work, not a performance review. So don't be hard. Don't look at your analytics trying to kick yourself or trying to, don't look at it as like, I'm doing good or I'm doing bad. You're looking at it as like what is working and what is not. You're looking for patterns and insights. You're not judging yourself. You're not putting yourself on trial. You're just looking for like what is working, what's not. So key questions to ask. You can start your review sessions with these fundamental questions to reveal opportunities and problems. So what time does your audience watch? When are people on your platform the most? Schedule posts and then that can change your posting time. So you can schedule posts when your audience is active, because my audience may be active at 9 a.m. in the morning or 7 a.m. because I make content about the stock market, or they may be active at 2 p.m. because, again, I make content about the stock market. It's open from 7:30 to 2 p.m. here in Denver. It's open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. East Coast time. But yeah, it's 7 to 2 our time. So yeah, what time is your audience watching? When are they there? That's going to help you figure out what time you want to post and how often you want to post. Which videos retain viewers the longest? So identify the topics, the formats, the styles that resonate the most. So these are the things that people like, the things that people watch the longest. You want to make more of that. And reviewing your analytics is going to help you figure out which of those are doing the best. And then where do people drop off? Pinpoint the moments that they lose attention, because these are your improvement targets. Because if they're falling off halfway through, maybe halfway through you need to switch it up a little bit, or you need to shorten the content. You never know. People's attention spans are different these days. So figuring out where they drop off is going to be beneficial to you, because now maybe you're making a new opportunity to cut that reel in half or cut that video in half and have part 2 to the video that they'll go and watch, but they just didn't want to watch it all at one time, which kind of plays into what I was saying before, is like you're keeping them on the platform longer by simply changing up your content style, which is going to benefit you and them, because they're getting value and you're getting views, you're getting your pages blowing up, and the people you're serving, they're also able to follow you a little bit easier. And last thing is, what traffic sources bring viewers? So double down on the sources that consistently deliver engaged audiences. If TikTok's not working for you, then you need to stop using TikTok. But if Instagram and YouTube are, and they're helping you get out what you're trying to get out, then you need to double down on those. And maybe you can come back to the TikTok, or maybe you can come back to LinkedIn, or whatever it is you choose, but double down on the ones that work the best. So yeah, that's kind of self-explanatory. But last important thing is check your analytics weekly, not daily, because every day things fluctuate and it creates noise, it creates anxiety. You don't want to be looking at it like, oh my gosh, I need to do better every single day. You want to get to the end of the week and see how well did this week go, and then go from there. Weekly reviews, they reveal the meaningful trends without making you feel overwhelmed, because if you look at them every day, you're definitely going to be overwhelmed. So once a week and you'll be fine. Now, how do you use this data to improve? Analytics, they create value when they inform action. And here's how they translate into insights, into tangible improvements that compound over time. Number one is the A/B test. You want to test your thumbnails and titles systematically. So change one thing in your thumbnails at a time, whether that be the font, the picture, the style, whatever it is. Change one thing at a time and see what drives performance. And YouTube allows thumbnail updates on existing videos, which is wonderful. So you can test different variants to see what improves the CTR. So, yeah, because you never know. That video may only have gotten 10 views because the thumbnail's different. And then you change the thumbnail, now all of a sudden that video has 10,000 views. There's a small difference because people just don't want to click on it because of the thumbnail. But it could be a great video. So don't always think that it's the video is the problem. Sometimes it's literally just the thumbnail. Sometimes it's just what the people see at first makes them not want to click it, makes them not want to watch it. So changing small things like that. Number two, double down. When content performs well, create more content like that. Analyze what made it work. Like, is it the topic? Is it the format? Is it the length? Is it the style? Whatever it is, do more of that. Replicate those elements in the future and see how you can even improve those different elements to make an even better video. But if you see something works really well, do more of that. Don't ignore it. Do more of that. Make that a main part of your content creation plan. Add that to your calendar, as that type of content is going to work the best for you. And number three, cut ruthlessly. Don't be married to any idea. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Get rid of it. That's the main thing, because when you're making content, yes, you're making content for you, but you're also making it for your audience. And your audience has told you that this content doesn't work. They don't like it. So don't do it no more. Get rid of it. Your audience has spoken. Now your time to listen. And number four is adapt quickly. Your audience, they change over time. What they like changes over time. Their behavior changes over time. Things shift. Their mindset shifts. They watch you more, and now they're like, oh yeah, I need more content from Javon. Like, I need longer content from Javon, because now people are they're locked in. But whatever worked last quarter may not work this quarter. So stay nimble and willing to evolve based on what the current data shows, which is why we're always looking at data, because we make data-driven decisions. So, yeah, adapt quickly. Pro tip, changing a single thumbnail improved our click-through rate by 40%, which translated to 60% more views. That one data-driven tweak had more impact than a month of new content. So you never know. Changing one thing, one small thing, can be the difference between 10 views and 10,000 views. You never know. Now, next thing, audience development and engagement. Your audience, it's not a number, it's a community. It's people who have needs, specific needs, different preferences, they behave differently. So understanding who they are and what they do and what they value transforms your generic content into a must-watch piece of content. Takes it from just, that looks cool, I'll watch it later, to like, no, this is what I need to watch. I need to do that. Yeah. So understanding your audience. These are demographics. These are the basic facts about your audience. Their age range, where they're located, their gender, whatever it is, because your content may work with, 28-year-old men, or your audience may be just mostly women across a different age group, across different age groups. You want to look at these different things to look at this data. So in different platforms, They provide this data automatically. Not all of them do, but this is why we review our analytics, because we want to see what those different things look like. And demographics tell you who is watching. They don't explain why they watch or what truly matters to them. And this is where psychographics become essential. Now, what are psychographics? They're far more important than demographics because it tells you the why. They reveal the internal world of your audience. So what problems keep them up at night? What content do they already consume? And what goals are they working towards? And what fears hold them back from progress? Those 4 topics alone can help you create a plethora of different types of content, because you're answering these needs for those people. And they will follow you because they know you're going to answer those needs. And you're following those things. So understanding these deeper motivations allows you to create content that resonates emotionally and really connects with that audience, because they're going to feel the genuine value from that content. So a good action step from here is to create 2 or 3 different detailed audience personas. Give them names, backgrounds, challenges. And then when you create this, ask, like, would this help such and such solve this problem? Or would this person find this valuable? So you're not going to find psychographics like on Instagram or on YouTube, but you want to kind of figure out who you're making the content for and then start building personas off of it. We even do it at PBS, so don't think that you're doing something just out of the blue. We do it at PBS for all of our content as well. So yeah. And the 80-20 rule. This is a good rule that I notice a lot of people seem to overlook, but balance is crucial in developing your audience, because if you give too much value without ever asking for anything, you'll struggle to monetize. But if you ask too often, you'll lose the trust and engagement. So you want to figure out a good balance, but a good balance would be 80-20. So 80% is value first content. This is going to be the vast majority of your content, and it's going to serve your audience with no expectations. It's going to help. They come to your page, they get the value, that's it. And then 20% promotional content. This is when you do promotional asks. This is when you are calling people to action. But you do this when you've built sufficient goodwill and trust. So when people trust you, they know you, they like you. Now you can start promoting things because they know, like, and trust you. And people buy things and do things with people they know, like, and trust. So yeah, what counts as value? This is educational content. Are you teaching people a new skill, giving them knowledge? Entertainment, obviously, it provides enjoyment, escape. It makes them laugh, brings out good, healthy emotions, provides serotonin and dopamine for them. And then inspiration, this motivates action. This shows people, like, hey, I can do it too. Shows them the possibilities, different things like that. And then solutions. These address specific pain points, because you're giving them things that solve actual problems that they're experiencing, which is why we do all the psychographics. Now, what counts as promotion is direct pitches of your services or products. So this would be for content creators, like, hey, I wrote an ebook on losing weight because you've watched my whole weight loss journey over the past year, and I want to share with you everything that I've done over the past year, or whatever it may be. But this is your services or products that you are pitching personally. And then the next thing is calls to action for purchases or signups. This could be your email letter. This could be, hey, I just dropped some clothing lines, or I came out with a digital product. I came out with some LUTs, or I came out with this template to help you build a better content calendar, or whatever it is. And I want you to buy it here on this link in the video below. Whatever that may be, you're calling people to action. Then sponsor content and affiliate programs. Again, this is when, Disney says we want Javon to teach a media literacy class, and yeah, you're going to make a video about it and we're going to pay you for it. So that kind of thing. So sponsor content, affiliate programs, different things like that. But remember, give more than what you ask for. You want to lead with giving, and then the audience can sense when you're truly helping versus when you're truly just trying to sell them something. So you want to give more than what you ask for. A couple of engagement strategies. You want to respond within the first hour. You want to ask people questions, and you want to have interactive content. And feature UGC. So showcase user-generated content like testimonials, different things like that. But you want to respond within the first hour because that's what's going to show that, hey, like this person actually sees what I'm doing. And then you want to ask people questions. You want to end your captions and videos with like, hey, what is it that you want to just invite them to respond? So I can't think of a specific example, but invite them to respond. And then interactive content. These are polls, quizzes, like choose your adventure, stories, like whatever it is that you may be. But this is where your community is going to interact. So this is community building. So beyond tactical engagement, focus on genuine community development through like behind the scenes content, because it's going to make you more human. And then sharing your personal stories that create connection, a consistent voice and values. All those different pieces are going to help you the most. So email lists. I won't go too far into this because this is kind of like businesses and what most people want to do with whatever it is. But like email matters because like this is the audience that you own. So like you can have people sign up for these different things and be a part of your email list specifically because like you build your email list and now you have different leads for businesses and people and things that you want to sell your products to and give more value to and like have a community behind different platforms and build your own personal community like that people follow you in the background off of different social medias. So how do you build it? Lead magnets. It's like free templates, guides, checklists, so on and so forth. Newsletter signups, again, promotional content. But yeah, you promise value weekly, monthly, whatever it is that you have like a newsletter for. And then exclusive content. Provide email only tutorials, early access to videos, bonus materials, so on and so forth. You can start building an email list today, even if you only have like 100 followers. There's 100 people that you can reach on a regular basis. So don't think because you don't have a lot of followers, you can't do it. But yeah. Cross promotion and collaboration. This is kind of self-explanatory too, because you can have guest appearance on podcasts. You can do shout out exchanges. So partner with different creators that are the same size as you or similar as you. And then you can have audience alignment. You can exchange different recommendations, introduce each creator to a new potential followers. And yeah, you guys can help each other grow. And then platform cross-pollination is repurposing single pieces of content across multiple things. So, that's making a YouTube short, sharing on Instagram and TikTok. Kind of straightforward. But yeah. Now, monetization strategies. I really wanted to get to this because I want you guys to know how to make some money. You built your systems. Those different things. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to make money. I'm just saying this is how you can get down the path of making money. So if you don't make any money, don't say that Javon said that I'm going to make money. No, I did not tell you that. So revenue stream. These are your different revenue streams of content creation for making money. So you have digital products. This is where you create and sell downloadable products that people can purchase. Sponsorships and brand deals. You can partner with brands that are relevant to the content you're creating for sponsor content, product placement, so on and so forth, ambassador, whatever it may be. Memberships and subscriptions. This is where you have like a community outside of what you make on socials that people pay for. A good example is like Earn Your Leisure. They have EYL University. So for those who want to learn even more about investing in stocks and different things like that, you pay to be a part of that community, that so you can learn even more. So subscriptions, but there's also options on Instagram and things like that. Then there's affiliate marketing. This is promoting products or services that you love, that you know, and earn a commission when people buy those products. Plain and simple. Now, platform monetization. So a lot of people struggle to get to this point, but yeah, this is how you're going to do it. So YouTube, they have the partner program, and to qualify, you need at least 4,000 hours, 4,000 watch hours, and 1,000 subscribers. Once you're eligible, revenue is generated through splits on videos, typically a 55% share for the creator. Typically, kind of depends. Now, Instagram and TikTok, these offer creative funds, like creator funds. So criteria varies by region, so I'm not sharing specifics. So you can just go on Instagram and look at your monetization policy. And bonuses happen for viral content like Reels. So when it explodes, then you get even more money, which is cool. But direct brand collaborations and affiliate links are also a form of significant income for a lot of creators, because different brands want more people on Instagram, because Instagram is one of the most used things. And same with TikTok. Instagram and TikTok are two of the most used social medias ever. So, yeah. And then Spotify. Podcasters can monetize through programmatic advertising inserted into their episodes. There's other platforms for this too, but like podcasters and anybody who does anything in audio, ads are what's going to help you make the most money. But each platform has their own unique ecosystem and requirements. So when you diversify across multiple platforms, you can open up different sources of monetization opportunities for some income. But look into these specifically to see how they work best for you. Now, sponsorships, brand deals, how do you do them? You want to build a real audience of at least 1,000 followers. So in that time of building your 1,000 followers, this is where you're going to learn how to use these content calendars and different things to help you make a strategy that gets you ready for these brand deals and sponsorships, because now you can just throw them in your calendar and not worry about it when they do come with them. You want to create a professional media kit. So create a media kit of all the different professional things that you do. It's basically a one-pager on yourself and why this sponsorship would work, your rates, different things like that, so they can pay you properly. And then, of course, you want to reach out to brands that you actually use and that you genuinely care about. So you don't have to wait for them to reach out to you. Send them some emails, just give them some calls, see how that works for you, and then send them that media kit. And maybe we'll do a short video on like how to make one. But yeah, you want to just have a kit that just teaches them about you, why they should invest in you. And then clearly set your rates and deliverables. So make sure that, if you say you're going to do one video, you're only doing one video, and that's what they get. And it's going to go on Instagram. Cool. The next thing is pricing your work, your best rates on engagement, not just followers. You want to base your rate on engagement, not just your followers. Just because you have 150,000 followers does not mean that you have a lot of engagement. So that is the thing too. Base rates on your engagement, not your followers. It's going to help you make more money. Now, industry standard, approximately $100 per 10K followers is the baseline. You can look how it works for in your area, but of course you want to adjust for your niche and your content quality, because you may have 10K followers, but you do a lot of After Effects content. So yeah, it's a little more expensive, which is totally fine. Now, direct sales, it's your products and services. These are your digital products. These are your services. These are your memberships. So you want to create your different courses and workshops if that works best for you, your ebooks, your presets, your templates, different things like that, or offer your skills. Like if you do production work, different video stuff, video editing, audio editing, graphic design, whatever it may be, your one-on-one consultings, your personalized coaching, different things like that, or the memberships. If you have a specific thing that you like to share, that more people want to follow and you want to go into more detail, this is where the Patreons, this is where YouTube memberships or private memberships just come into play for networking and learning. So whatever it is that works best for you for that situation. But each of these provides a direct connection to your audience. So don't sleep on them. Affiliate marketing, same thing. We talked about it already. It's but some good programs and products that a lot of people use are like Amazon Associates, broad range of physical products, software tools like promote descriptions of creative software, like you can say Adobe, Epidemic Sound, Notion, whatever it may be, Claude, doesn't matter, whatever it may be. Gear and equipment, these are the cameras, the microphones, the lightings, whatever it is, gear and equipment that you like. And digital products, same thing, courses, templates, ebooks, whatever it may be. But only recommend tools that you specifically use. If you don't use Claude, don't recommend Claude. And clearly disclose your affiliate relationship. So let people know that you're working with Claude if you're hired by Claude. Because transparency is a non-negotiable. It's dangerous if you don't do it. You can get sued for that. So be careful. And we've talked about that before. And then focus on providing value and solving problems for your audience. The sales will follow after, because if people see value, they will buy it. Simple as that. Building sustainable income. This is a pathway, not a promise. But months 1 to 3, build your content library. Focus on creating high quality content and valuable content that works for your audience. Month 6 to 12, or month 4 to 6, grow your audience. So actively promote your content, engage your community, implement your strategies, focus on growing your audience. 6 to 12, add monetization. Once you've had consistent audience, begin introducing monetization strategies, digital products, sponsorship, affiliate links, so on and so forth. And in year 2 and up, scale and diversify. Refine your offerings, build new things, explore new income channels, start exploring and doing different things. And remember, good things take time. Focus on consistent value delivery. The revenue will follow. This is just kind of a multi-income model example that I have that is a realistic way of keeping money. But full-time employment, it's my job. I have my job, so I don't die. I'm able to eat. A creative business. This is my video production business. This adds some extra money into it. Freelance work too. It kind of goes hand in hand with my business. And then future ventures. So strategic growth through affiliate marketing, different things like that. But yeah, it's just, you don't have to start immediately trying to make money off of your content creation. You can start with what it is you're already making money in, grow and build from that. But last but not least, our key takeaways: you want to have a good calendar, you want to build your audience, you want to look at your analytics, and you want to start planning to make money and start working on those pathways to build money through making your calendar, building your audience, and looking at your analytics. So when the money does come, you're prepared for it, not just hanging around. So yeah, that's really all I got for you. A couple action steps this week: just build your calendar, review your analytics for the first time, write your notes down, see how you feel, and then practice engaging actively. Just see what engages your community after looking at your analytics and see how you can build your community even more. And then choose one monetization technique that you can commit to and go from there. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys. We did go a little bit over, but thank y'all for joining me, and y'all have a great rest of your day.
Do you have a question?
Do I have any questions, actually? Cool.
Javon the creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not clouded gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy.